Hello, welcome back. Ryan's Thoughts in Cars. I'm Ryan, and I'm actually not in a car today. I'm in a truck. Ford F-150. I wanted this. I was just watching my dating video, and if you haven't watched it, I'll see if I can remember to put the link down in the description. But I think it's like there was so much I wanted to talk about. I have tried making like tons of videos on it, and for one reason or other, the camera shuts off, which is the universe's way of telling me no. Because a lot of them actually, I'll admit, I got pretty negative in them. I talked about the dating pool and what it looks like at 50. And I'm trying to stay, I'm honestly trying to stay within like age appropriateness, because I figure, I'll be able to relate to people a lot better and stuff like that. Growing up in similar times, it's just stuff that you don't need to explain, because you just know what the 80s were like and the sayings and stuff like that. People just get it, right? But the dating pool. Now, I mentioned my marriage and divorce because that's what most of the pool is. I don't know how big of a pool it is, but I know it's huge, because most of the profiles I was swiping on had to do with have children, don't want children, and then you meet with these women in person and, oh yeah, we divorced, and the same story is, I lost myself in the marriage is probably the best way they can say it. And I had to find myself, and I got divorced, and most of them won't say, well, I wasn't happy. That's not a good enough excuse. And when I first started dating after my divorce with my age group, the sayings was, well, he was a narcissist. And that was said so many times that it became a non-answer. But women aren't saying that anymore. They are saying, I lost myself in the marriage. For the most part. Not all of them, but for the most part, that's the story. And I know, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. I had this done to me already. You left your husband because you were bored. I was on the relationship website for long enough with women coming there saying, I lost attraction to my husband. There's no attraction. There's no fire. There's no burning desire left anymore. And I'm not going to say, it's your fault, it's his fault, it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. What I wanted to touch on today, like the dating pool, and the next one I had mentioned was, women who have been single, okay? Women who have been single and they're in their 30s, or late 30s, sorry, and even their 40s. And I'm like, okay. Starting out, fresh-eyed and hopeful, I'm like, that would be nice, to meet a woman who held back from the dating scene and didn't get married, and that's not what it is. These are women who partied hard, and are now looking for, what? I was going to say, they're looking for a meal ticket, an easy way out to end their life sort of thing. Shack up with some dude to pay the bills. Some sort of rescuer, I'm guessing, because because I'm saying that because I'm on these dates. And no woman, not a single one, well, I shouldn't say that. Since leaving the island, one woman out of, I don't know how many women I went out with, not, except for one woman, not one woman wanted to pay for anything. I was expected to pay for everything. I was expected to line up the date, to pick the date, to choose what we're doing on the date, the whole thing, right? And I'm dating women who have excellent jobs, and excellent pay. And they're saying it right in their fucking profiles. And you got some, I don't know. Like that really puts me off right there. If I was hitting on some 20-year-old, some woman in their 20s, looking for a man, that's reasonable. I could totally see that. Beginning the courtship, the whole thing. In school, if I was a 50-year-old dude and I was hitting on, 20-year-old chicks, absolutely, I could see that. Hey, let's pay for the date. Let's do this. Let's do, because I'm officially courting you. Because I'm not courting you to bang you. I'm courting you to, this is marriage, but I'm ending my life. Let's see how far this goes. You want kids? Let's do it. But not some 30, 40, 50-year-old woman. I'm sorry. If you think you're going to be courted at 30, 40, 50, and you got a high-paying job in 2025, there's something wrong with your head. No guys are bashing down your doors, except for the guys that just want to bang you. And walk away. I'm sure there's some simps out there that'll dig your single motherhood, pay for everything and all that, but no, sorry. As a guy, setting the tone of courting a woman, setting up dates and stuff like that, and paying for everything, it's a bad sign. The relationship's going to end up in. The only way you would do that, I think, is to pull one-nighters and one-offs. That's the only way. That's the only reason I can think of that, because if you rationally think that you are gonna, court a woman, pay for everything, and she's in her 30s, 40s, 50s, thinking she's a 20-year-old dew-eyed princess, that relationship, it's gonna end as soon as you can't afford something. As soon as you can't afford her new car, as soon as you can't afford to pay your cell bill, as soon as you can't afford something, she's gonna be gone. You're not a man. You're not a real man. Real man's a provider. That kind of bullshit. Now, I'm not mincing words here because, it's frustrating. It really is frustrating as a guy out there. This is with the apps, but most guys don't even get likes. Most guys don't even get returned messages. I did well on that part, and I was able to pull it off, and I was able to get on date. But it was a struggle, and it's women sitting there preening, waiting for someone to come sweep them off their feet. That's what I felt on those dating websites. Sure, maybe behind the scenes they're saying something different, but when it comes down to it, when you know, it's time to put up or shut up, when it's time to, you know, put your money where your mouth is. And I think what my grandfather used to say, where the bear shit in the buckwheat, you know, find out the truth about how this is going to be working. No, they're single at 30, 40, and 50 for a reason. The majority. And they're there from their own choices. And it's not worth, coming from a guy who just went through it, deleted all my apps, it is not worth it trying to date somebody 30s, 40s, you know, and I'm gonna say low 50s, because mid 50s up, the women are actually sane, they're reasonable, they understand. I'm finding getting along with that a lot easier and better, a lot more realistic expectations. If you got married, divorced, and you're single, and now you want another man, like, sorry, I'm not courting you. Yeah, you might be pretty and all of that shit, but, like, to be honest with you, it's not worth it. It is absolutely not worth it. If you want to court me, absolutely fine. Please do it. Please do it. But I don't think women have a good sense on how to find, you know, decent men. They want to find someone who turns. That's what I'm finding on the apps anyway. They want some guy who turns them on and can keep that switch lit. Like on a first meet, as a guy, I am expected to light that flame. And I am expected to keep that flame lit. Second date, third date, fourth date, fifth date, sixth date, seventh date. And, you know, I'm too old for this shit. And it's not shit. I'm too old for this bullshit, is what it is. Like, I can see why, before I got into dating, watching the websites into the Megto, and, you know, guys have checked out of dating and sort of things, right? If I was a young guy doing, there's no way a young guy could do this. No. Like, my entire time in the workforce, I slowly watched women take over, and at the end of my career here, I had the manager come and say, well, I can't hire you. I can't give you your number. And I said, well, okay, sure, why? He's like, well, this is the meeting that happened. We were told to hire women, you know, colored women, indigenous women, and then people of color and all of this. And then down at the bottom of the list was some, you know, white males. You know, all that diversity hiring, whatever. Sure, fine. You know, women's power and all of that. Good for you. All of that. You got what you wanted. You got all the jobs. You got all the money. And now you want guys who you've displaced in the workforce to pay your way on a date. Like, take a hike. Absolutely 100% take a hike. I came from an island where this was already known. This has already been going on for decades, and women understood this, and they were upfront about it. No, here, I'll pay. Said, no, you're a guy, you're here on the island. We know the same story that I just told you. We've displaced men in the workforce. Women have the better jobs. Men here on the island don't get, for the most part, most jobs jobs don't pay well for men. And so we are lucky to have men available still here on the island. So all you need, Ryan, is to be employed and own a car. Pay for stuff every now and again. You know, make your own, pay for yourself wherever you can. But I found later on, you know, like, as you know, because women had way more money than I did, to be honest with you. You know, I was just a tradesman. You know, I'm talking to, you know, directors of companies. Oh, I want to go to Mexico. We're gonna go. I'm taking a trip to blah blah blah. Do you want to come? And I'm like, well, I can't pay for it. She's like, I'll pay for it. You know, Stuff like that. Out here, like, you know, moving off the island and coming back here into the Western civilization, the normalcy, or the real world, or whatever you want to call it. The dating thing is actually a joke, and it's not a joke because, guys, it's not. I sit and talk to my daughter about this, and she, you know, she's pretty deep in the what do you call it? Anti-patriarchal movement. But even she's finding, like, guys are checked out of dating. Nobody hits on her. And the only guys who do are the creepy dudes and the creepy old dudes. But everybody does want her attention, you know. It's my quick rant on this one. I am gonna have to make another video that isn't as angry. But that is the situation of dating here. Like at 50, I'll make another video about that. Like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.